everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to review Mortal Kombat, the 2021. You know, not the old one, though. Kind of wish I was watching that one, the 90s, original 90s one, over this one. I am not going to play games with you guys on this one. I did not like this movie. I really do think this movie was pretty bad. I seriously am befuddled about how terrible personally, how bad I think this movie is. And it comes as a shock to me. Going into this movie, I thought I was going to have the same feeling that I had with Godzilla vs. Kong, which is the action and the spectacle is worth the price of admission over the over some of the the writing and the logic and the dialogue, that it would overcome that Godzilla versus Kong, which I didn't give Godzilla versus Kong like a high score, but I gave it like a 6 or 7. I think I gave it, ended up settling on a 7. It's been a while, 7. I can't really quite remember, but I would have settled on a 7. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I thought it had the flaws in it were very apparent, but the logical leaps, but you got what you came for. I just didn't know if it was worth it. I'm not sure. I was conflicted about it. If I got what I came for, but some of that other stuff was so bad that I was I don't know. It was conflicting. I can tell you right here and now, it was not worth it. I regret going to pay the money. Or Seth, because Seth paid to go see this. I regret it. I immediately after we were done watching this movie went, I'm sorry, man. There are parts of this movie that are just outright boring. They race through everything. They race through how the people get their powers. They race to introductions. They have the darkest, the darkest before the dawn moment. They rush through that. There are logical things that don't make a lick of sense. They don't explain many things, at all. Jax's arms aren't really explained. The super powers that people get are just there. They came up with this MacGuffin / ridiculous thing with these tattoos, with these birthmarks or whatever, these marks, so that they can have the fighters that they want. I don't even know. There are things from the video games that are bent, and there are things from the video games that were supposed to be Easter eggs that are just the most less subtle reference, less subtle. I've seen and the thing about it is, when they do their world building or trying to set up a sequel, they had a moment with Liu Kang in the movie where he talks about Boraicho, and he just says how I was trained by Boraicho, and I was like, why can't you do all of your Easter eggs as subtly and as smoothly and as organically as this? When they do an Easter egg, they practically stop the movie to focus on it. People get abilities out of nowhere. It makes no sense why the Elder Gods are not intervening, because in the games, the Elder Gods are very fucking strict about trying to kill the fucking people before the tournament ever begins. Raiden is useless, and he doesn't really do anything, really. Cole Young's the character you're following, and he is boring as a fucking paper. Watching Cole Young is like staring at a fucking white wall. You might as well be in an insane asylum. Honestly. Goro dies by Cole Young. The way they introduced Scorpion was cool, but you only see Scorpion for 10 minutes, and there's no reason, and there's no actual explanation to why he's called Scorpion. And every time someone introduces themselves, they pause and take 50 fucking seconds to go, I am Scorpion. I am Sub-Zero. The only character who acts like a normal human being in this entire movie is Kano. For some reason, they decided to make Sonya and Jax these crazy people looking for the tournament, when in the video game, it was simple. Sorry. In the video game, it was pretty simple and straightforward. Sonya was going after Kano. Kano was working for Shang Tsung, and that's how she ended up in this tournament. And they discover what, and her, Johnny Cage, and Liu Kang discover what it's all about. Discover what's going on in this tournament. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. But man, I don't got really too much to say about this movie. I thought this movie was boring in parts. Some of the action sequences, while they were good, that's just not enough to get past some of the most boring bits. Like the training thing was just boring. And Liu Kang and Kung Lao are just so fucking over serious. They do not act like actual people. No one in this acts like a normal human being. The dialogue is shit. This is the world's most expensive fan film. That's what it felt like. Like they would just blurt out, finish him, flawless victory. Like I was like, fatality. Like, what? It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, people. Honestly, I'd give this movie a 2. I fucking didn't like it. I really, really didn't like it. And the more I thought about it, the less I liked it. And I feel like the reason I don't like this movie as much as I do is because I know the video games and I don't quite understand the people saying that this is like accurate to the games, because this is not accurate to the games. This is a pile of shit. Honestly, if you're a Mortal Kombat fan and you're willing to accept this shit, then you are desperate. You are desperate because that is not it. If you would be better off just watching the cutscenes from the Mortal Kombat video games than watching that piece of shit that I just saw. I don't get the fanfare for it. I've never felt so emotionally upset at a film before, because I am a big Mortal Kombat fan. I am a fan of the lore. I am a fan of the games. I've played all of them, even the shitty ones. Like, so, overall, dude, like, I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan. And I don't know if they can fix it, because they killed off so many characters, like Melina, like so many characters that weren't even supposed to be introduced yet. Like in the original game, like it's supposed to be like Enter the Dragon. And they just made it more complicated than they had to make it. And I know there's a first-time director who made this, but I'm just not with it, man. I am just not with it. I give this a 2. Give it a 2. Thank you guys for joining me on Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. I know a lot of people are going to be upset with me and disagree with me in the comment section, but I couldn't stand this goddamn movie, man. I really couldn't. By the time this movie ended, I had to apologize to Seth, and I felt really bad, man. I did. I felt really bad. So thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show again. Please remember to like, subscribe. And how did you feel about the Mortal Kombat movie? You probably felt a lot more positive about it than I did. Thank you guys again. I'll see you in the next one.